All right, today we're going to jump back into the Bitcoin price action and talk about the structure change we do have here on the charts. At this point, I would say the low is kind of confirmed, and I do expect us to break up through this golden pocket now and get up to these higher resistance levels, mainly targeting that liquidity up at 65,200, 64,500. This range within here is your big level to be watching out for. The fact that we did already test this golden pocket twice means this third tap is very likely to go ahead and break through at this point, but it's not time to exactly like FOMO in long, because we certainly could find some resistance momentarily, right? Potentially go down, grab these inefficiencies in the charts, because we'll look at trading light in a second and you'll see there's a bunch of single prints down there. So definitely possible we do fill those inefficiencies before coming up, taking out those late longers. And we do still have some volume up higher. So yeah, definitely, in conflict with this trend, if we were to pull back and come back up, this could also be considered a level to watch out for. So we'll kind of see how that plays out. But yeah, definitely with this buying pressure on the charts right now, this bullish structure change, I fully expect we're getting up into these higher liquidity levels. The market really should magnet up there because of how bad these highs are. No way all of these shorts are just going to get untested. Even in the most bearish scenario, we're going to come up here, grab it before coming back down. And assuming we do come up there and don't just, continue to squeeze up higher, right? If we do have a swing failure of these liquidity levels, back test the volume as resistance and come back down here, this area right here is going to be the deciding factor for Bitcoin. Can we flip the golden pocket back into support, or was this just a retrace and it's going to fall and the bull market's over? And while I definitely do not expect the latter, I think the bull market is still in full swing until we do break all-time highs again. That is something to be watching out for on the chart, especially if we do see just meme coins going crazy within this range here. We're already seeing a lot of celebrity meme coins, that sort of thing. So of course we'll take it day by day, but yeah, definitely do expect we're going to get through those levels and squeeze on up to all-time highs. And I've covered this, in my recent videos, but the big level for me to be watching out for is that break of all-time highs. When we break all-time highs, is this going to be a clean back test, building support, making poor highs for that continuation higher? Or is this rally going to just be a short squeeze where open interest decreases while we're going up, and then we go ahead, distribute up here, and have a nice swing failure with a lot of longs getting trapped and a failure of that all-time high? If we do see structure like this right here, I will be pretty concerned that that was the high on Bitcoin. So we'll be watching out for this so we can recognize structure forming before it does drop and fall back within the range. We want to be getting out of our positions at the Pico top if possible, but that's a very hard time. So we're going to have to take the data day by day to kind of digest what is going on in the markets. Now in trading light, you can see these single prints I was talking about earlier that are likely to get retraced back into, and we're actually currently forming more right now on the price action within this 30-minute candle. So these are two areas to be watching out for. But I will say, when Bitcoin leaves ranges, when we do exit consolidation and start firing off to the upside or downside, a lot of times these don't actually get filled. Just take, for example, if we jump out to the 1 hour time frame here, we can see if we go all the way back to where Bitcoin actually got up into this massive consolidation range we've been in for the last couple months, we've had all of these single prints to the downside from our bear market ranges all the way to below $30,000. So certainly we can see these don't need to be retested, and with how bullish structure is looking right now, the buying pressure might not allow for this to get retested, and I would not be surprised at all for us to just continue to squeeze all the way up to these poor highs within here, these sweep levels that I've had up higher for quite some time without really any back test at all. And let's talk about open interest, because this is the big thing I've been telling you guys, right? If open interest is increasing while we're going up to all-time highs, that is bullish continuation, there's a good chance our top does not come in on a Wyckoff after distribution, and there's a good chance we just keep on sending to six figures on Bitcoin. If, however, open interest is decreasing, it shows that it's nothing but a short squeeze, and that when you run out of the shorts to be used as fuel, a top likely comes in on that upthrust after distribution. That is one of the defining factors of that Wyckoff schematic. But so far, so good. I'm happy to report, as price is moving up here, we do see open interest coming up with haste along with our CVD, meaning longs are opening. We have those supportive buyers in the order flow. We have this on Binance right now, as well as we had it earlier on Bybit. Bybit's usually more on the right side of the market, at least they have been with shorts. So that's why you're seeing them close out more at the highs here. There's just been more shorts open on Bybit. So that makes sense, nothing really too concerning. And you do see the smarter buyers, opening their long positions down here at the lows. But this is not definitive yet. As we continue to squeeze up here, especially when we reach these liquidity levels, right? I expect a massive OI decrease going through that, closing out all the shorts that opened back up here at these sweep levels. So we're not quite out of the woods yet, got to be watching out for these levels, because lows. We could have a bearish rollover, as well as even if this is to, go ahead and start accepting back up, we could see open interest decrease while doing the second half of the move. So yeah, really going to be wanting to watch open interest throughout the entirety of this uptrend. Assuming we break onto all-time highs, that's the number one thing I'm going to be looking at, and I'll make sure to keep you guys updated on it on this channel. Yeah, so overall, Bitcoin is looking very nice right now. I think it is safe to say the low is in after backtesting some of our levels perfectly. This is something I guess I forgot to mention, but yeah, before leaving the consolidation range within here, in yesterday's video, we talked about this poor range we had been creating in here on the daily session, and then it needed to get swept. I was expecting it to fill down to the CME gap, probably waiting until Monday, right? I didn't think we'd get this volatility on the weekend. So definitely unusual to see this during the weekend. And because this is happening while CME is closed, there is now going to be another gap to the upside. So not only do we have these inefficiencies in the chart with these single prints, but we're going to have a big CME gap, wherever this lands into Monday, assuming price closes up here, we're going to have a massive CME gap within this range that is likely to get filled back into. And that's another reason I just wouldn't be FOMOing into longs right now. Back to this range break though, just wanted to kind of shout out my levels in here. Pixel touch on the golden pocket and perfect hourly close above that previous range volume level that we had put in the charts from all the way back in this range here. So yeah, really cool to see that stuff getting respected. But enough of Bitcoin, let's talk about the altcoin market, because I do think you're going to see more expansion into your altcoins. We have been seeing some altcoins popping off. Actually, Caspa made an all-time high, but the rest of your altcoin market kind of is still in a consolidation. But with this move up, we are certainly starting to leave that consolidation along with Bitcoin. We're starting to leave out of the lows. And I do fully expect, now that we do have confirmation of the lows, the majority of your altcoins should start firing off. It won't just be a select few. As long as they're good projects and not, just complete scams, they should be performing very well from here on out. I gotta say though, we're not quite out of the woods. We still have previous bull market range value area low, which we originally failed to hold as support. We had some really good weekly candles throughout here, really looking like it was going to hold and fire off. But now that we have failed this, we got to be watching out for that back test into resistance for the continuation down lower, and just know this is still a possibility and something to be watching out for. But once again, my base case is Bitcoin all-time high, and in that case, I do fully expect the altcoin market to go ahead, back test this into support now, and I do expect it to kind of fire off with haste here, sending to these upper volume levels around the golden pocket to above the 886, and this is my big range to really be looking to potentially exit my positions on the altcoins if we are seeing mass euphoria in the markets, especially in that scenario where Bitcoin is just doing a short squeeze into that upthrust after distribution schematic versus a full-on super cycle where we do go to $300,000, which in that case, yeah, this stuff probably does get flipped into support and we do just go into all-time highs on the altcoin market. So once again, we'll just take it day by day to see how we need to be positioning ourselves. But yeah, happy days for Bitcoin. We're seeing a lot of bullish price action. Now we have the luxury of just waiting for higher levels, but of course let's continue to stay vigilant at those higher levels and stay objective in the markets. But yeah, if you have any questions about anything I talked about in this video or just want to join the community for this channel, link to my Discord is down in the description below. And with that being said, thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you all in the next video.